Climate change is real, and believe it or not, it affects everything, from the water you drink to the food you eat. The effects of climate change has over the years increased in severity and frequency. And while leading countries have taken notice, small countries like Belize and other members of the Alliance of Small Island States are at particular risk. And over the years, the effects of climate change have exposed the level of vulnerability of these countries.
You're looking at more intense storms, you're looking at extended drought. When it comes to rainfall, that in itself is more intensive. But it's just the era that we're living in right now.
And the time to act is now. Countries need to crack down on climate change before it's too late. In 2016, Belize signed and ratified the United Nations Convention on Climate Change, agreeing to keep global temperature rise below 2 degrees Celsius and limit the temperature increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Since then, Belize has made significant contributions to the mitigation and adaptation measures to combat this climate crisis, and so has other Caribbean nations.
To date, the 5Cs has mobilized over $260 million for climate change interventions across the region.
Experts say that the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change IPCC report is nothing less than a code red for humanity. Times are changing and time is running out. And for indigenous communities across Belize, nothing is much clearer. Differences have been noticed. Indigenous communities across Belize are bearing the brunt of climate change effects. Indigenous people have historically and culturally been stewards of environmental protection because their lives and livelihoods have been so intimately hinged to the health of the environment.
We are close to the earth. We tend to rely on nature and natural resources in all aspects of our lives. So medicinal, food, the materials for houses, fish from the sea or seafood. And so having the youths come and embrace that, when it, especially growing, planting, and catching your own food versus going to the supermarket and buying something that's already processed, it creates a deeper appreciation.
Reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation, REDD+ in Belize has quite fittingly integrated the Belize National Indigenous Council into its coordinating mechanism, and that's because significant amounts of deforestation have been observed near these communities, and this puts their traditional way of life at risk.
Deforestation has impacted them. One, when they go hunting for their game meat, now they have to go further, and sometimes they go and come back without anything. Finding the sticks that they need to build their homes has also been a challenge. Even the leaves getting for their homes has also been a challenge. And of course, medicinal plants, they're getting really scarce because the ecosystem have been changing due to deforestation.
REDD+ is a reward system where countries that protect their forests get incentives.
The idea is that they approach countries such as Belize that are rich in terrestrial biodiversity, and they encourage them to protect what we have. So the way how we do this in terms of carbon stock enhancement would be through reforestation activities, through promoting within our local communities the idea of sustainable use.
The task, however, is immense, but not impossible. The way to go is mainstreaming through the involvement of indigenous communities and young people like Kaya Miss, who at a young age knows the importance of the forest and how climate change is affecting her community.
It affects them because when the creeks dry up, there's less water. When it's too dry, there's less rain for their plants. And just for them as well, because you cook with water, you clean yourself with water, we need water, we also consume it. And without water, the crops die, so what are we going to eat? And the animals go farther in the forest to find more water, so what do we eat?
One of the outlined benefits of REDD+ is building resilient communities. A principal beneficiary point of the REDD+ project is being people-centric and rights-based. At the center of its sustainable succession is the country's youth. REDD+ Belize is uniquely different in that it ensures a level of dynamic inclusion.
It's also about awareness, and so how we bring in the communities, the youths. Basically, we just have to continue with the engagement activities that we've been doing. It's about telling us, REDD+, how they want it to happen within their communities. So whether it be senior citizens, middle-aged personnel, or youths, they have a say in that. And so if they have an invested interest. If their voice was heard, then we feel that that's a way that they will also ensure that they are doing their part within their communities.
This holistic approach involves the future owners of those who the world belongs to, the youth, and those who have taken care of the world, Indigenous peoples.
We're keepers of the earth, and so what is here now, we need to protect it so that we can have something to share with those who come behind us.
One of the things that the youth need to realize is that they make up a large percentage of our population and in the wider Caribbean. Business-wise, economic-wise, when governments make decisions regarding our environment, regarding sustainable development, they need to be involved, because like what they say, they are the future generation. When we leave and we pass from this flesh, who takes over? The youth ultimately takes over, and we cannot have a populace of young people taking over if they don't know the value of their land.
A country without forest is a country without people.